Hi guys, in this video I'm gonna talk about a roadmap for machine learning which has been very popular in recent years. Machine learning is a subfield of artificial intelligence and finds pattern in data. Deep learning is a branch of machine learning that uses neural networks with many layers. Today, problems such as computer vision, natural language processing, driverless cars can be solved with deep learning. In order to be able to do deep learning projects, I recommend you to learn machine learning first. Universities don't have a separate machine learning department, but fortunately, there are many free resources and training videos on the internet. Whether you're a student, an employee who wants to change careers, or someone who wants to use machine learning in your business, or someone who wants to use machine learning in your business, you can easily learn machine learning from open sources. You can easily learn machine learning by applying what I tell you in this video. Let's go ahead and take a look at the agenda for this video. First, I'm gonna talk about what is machine learning, and then I'm gonna tell you programming language for machine learning. After that, I'm gonna discuss libraries, and then I'm gonna mention tools you need to know for machine learning. After that, I'm gonna talk about disciplines for machine learning. I'm gonna show you algorithms. I'm gonna talk about resources and YouTube channel for machine learning. Before starting the video, we produce content related to the AI and data science. Please don't forget to subscribe, press the bell icon, and leave a comment. Let's get started. As you know, the amount of data produced has increased with the development of the internet and social media. If AI is today's electricity, data is today's oil. Companies such as Google, Facebook, Amazon become huge companies because they evaluated the data they obtained. To use oil, you have to process it, right? Just like oil, data have to process to use. Here, machine learning is the science of finding hidden patterns in data. If you ask where this machine learning come from, let me explain that. Previously, rules were entered into the machine and output was produced for inputs according to these rules. In this method, there were fixed rules set by people and it wasn't a very flexible approach. Then came up with the idea that machines could learn. The machine is given inputs and outputs and the machine learning the rules. This allowed the machine to learn the rules instead of entering the rules into the program. Let me show this. For example, you want to teach the program multiplication. You give the program a lot of data like 2 and 3 equal 6, 4 and 5 equal 20. The program learns multiplication from inputs and outputs. Then, when you ask the program to multiply n two numbers, the program returns you the answer. Machine learning is widely used in many fields such as finance, education, biology, and medicine. Let's take a look at the 6 steps to learn machine learning. One part of machine learning is programming. You need to know a programming language to recognize data, clean data, pre-process data, build a model. The most used programming language for machine learning are Python and R. Python is preferred more because it is a general programming language with easy syntax. With Python, you can both do database projects and work in many areas such as web programming or game development. Python is the most used language in machine learning and deep learning. On the other hand, R is a powerful language for machine learning. R also has a lot of libraries for machine learning. Now, let's take a look at the libraries you need to know for machine learning. You can write a machine learning model from scratch, but there is no need to reinvent the wheel. You can build faster and more practical models using libraries such as scikit-learn. Libraries make your work easier when working machine learning projects. Let me zoom the most used libraries for machine learning. First of all, I'll explain Python and then R libraries. In machine learning, you come across many metrics and array operation, right? The library you need to know for multi-dimensional array operation is NumPy. Another important library is Pandas. As you know, real-world dataset is complex. To analyze these complex datasets, data cleaning and data preprocessing are required. The library you need to know for this operation is Pandas. it is important to explore the data before building the model. Data visualization is way to explore data. Matplotlib and Seaborn libraries are mostly used for data visualization. Matplotlib is a powerful library and you can make great visualizations with this library. For statistical graph, the Seaborn library is perfect. The main purpose of machine learning is to build a good model, right? You can use the scikit-learn library to build a model. You can find many supervised and unsupervised learning algorithms in the scikit-learn library. Another important library for making machine learning project is TensorFlow. With TensorFlow, you can build end-to-end machine learning projects. In other words, with TensorFlow, you can do every step from data preprocessing and model building to deploy the model. Also, Keras API has been added for easy analysis with TensorFlow. Keras is a widely used API, especially for deep learning. Many more libraries can be described for machine learning. Here, I mentioned the most basic libraries that you should know. All the Python libraries are used very often in machine learning. R also has very powerful packages. I can tell you the libraries you need to know for R programming. ggplot2 for data visualization, dplyr and data frame for data manipulation, caret and MLR for building machine learning model, and Shiny for making interactive web applications. Now, let's look at the tools you can use in machine learning. There are many tools you can use for machine learning. With a user base of more than 20 million, Anaconda is a fantastic platform and it includes many libraries and tools. You can use many libraries at the same time without error. I highly recommend you to use Anaconda for machine learning projects. Also, you can work with many different projects to create the virtual environment in Anaconda. An editor or IDE allows you to easily write codes. The Jupyter Notebook is perhaps the most used tool for writing code when analyzing data. Jupyter Notebook is web-based and a good tool for visualizing data. Jupyter Notebook also has cells where you can write text. You can use it as editor in PyCharm and VS Code. But I highly recommend you to use Jupyter Notebook where you can both analyze and present. Another fantastic tool you can use for machine learning is Colab. Colab is a free cloud service provided by Google. Colab comes loaded with many libraries such as TensorFlow. Colab interface is similar to Jupyter Notebook. Another tool you can use for teamwork is Git. Git is a version control system. Using Git, you can collaborate with your teammates on your files and codes. You can store your project free on GitHub. With GitHub, you can also present your project to the world and share your codes. You can use Notion tool to manage your projects. Notion is a web-based tool where you can easily keep your notes. Music is said to be food for the soul. You can use Spotify tool to focus on your project. You can choose any playlist on Spotify according to your mood. You can do machine learning projects using libraries. But to understand the steps you do, you need to know mathematics, probability, statistics, and linear algebra. Don't be afraid when you see these disciplines. To learn machine learning, it's enough to know these disciplines at a basic level. It is also important that you have knowledge about the field you are working on. For example, to the project in the field of bioinformatics, you also need to know the disciplines of biology and genetics. If you don't have knowledge of the field, you can work with someone who is an expert in the field or get support. Data quality is very important for machine learning project to be successful. But another important is to use an algorithm suitable to fit the data. There are many algorithms you can use for machine learning. We can divide this algorithm into supervised learning and unsupervised learning. If your data has labels, you can use supervised algorithms such as regression and classification. And if your data is no labels, you can use unsupervised algorithms such as k-means, PCA. If your dataset is large, you can use algorithms such as convolutional neural networks, recurrent neural networks, or LSTM. Now, let's look at the free websites you can use for machine learning. There are tons of sites you can use for machine learning. Kaggle comes first among these sites. Kaggle is one of the world's largest data science and machine learning platforms. There are more than 1 million registered users on this platform. Some of the world's top data scientists actively use this site. On this platform, you can find many datasets and notebooks to inspire you. You can also use notebooks like Google Colab, where Kaggle offers free GPU or TPU service. Libraries such as Pandas, NumPy, TensorFlow are installed in this notebook. You can earn scores by participating in Kaggle. Some companies are able to offer jobs to people with high scores on this site. You can add your achievements to your portfolio by increasing your score on this platform. On Kaggle, you can find many training such as data science, machine learning, and deep learning. If you complete these trainings, you can even get a certificate. Another site I would recommend is Medium. You can find a lot of blog posts about machine learning and data science in this website. You can read this blog post to keep yourself updated. The best learning techniques is to tell what you have learned, right? You can also open an account on Medium for free and share what you learn on this platform. You can even earn money from this platform. You can also expand your network and get more recognition by writing a blog post. This way, you can enrich your portfolio and find a job more easily. Another fantastic site I would recommend is the Machine Learning Mastery website. This site has some really great articles on machine learning and deep learning, both theoretical and practical. Nowadays, video lectures are very popular. You can find many free machine learning courses on Coursera or Udemy. Another option as video lesson is YouTube, which we all use very often. Most people use YouTube for entertainment, but there are many channels that provide educational content. Let's take a look at YouTube channels. First channel I can recommend is Free Code Camp. In this channel, you can find tutorials in one video provided by different instructors on many fields. Another channel is Machine Learning University, which was founded by Amazon. You can watch machine learning tutorials in this channel. Edurock and SimpleLearn are fantastic channels. They also provide certificate training. Teach with Tim is great YouTube channel. He produces both programming and machine learning content. Another channel related to machine learning are Code Basics and Chris Naik. In their channels, you can find basic library tutorials and projects. Of course, there are many YouTube channels that produce content about machine learning. Here I have told some that I know. If there are channels that you know and recommend, you can write them in the comments. I'll add the links of the channels you recommend to the descriptions. Machine learning isn't learned just by watching. For machine learning, you have to get your hands dirty by doing projects with real world data. That's it. I mentioned a roadmap to be machine learning expert. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment and give me a like. See you in the next video. Bye for now.